welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Oyinka Solajinadu. Welcome to Dr. OJ Speaks TV. It's such a pleasure to have you here today. This is our Black History Month series. And if this is your first time here today, do me a quick favor, press the subscribe button and turn on your notifications because we upload videos every single week. And these conversations are truly impactful, if I do say so myself. Today's episode is brought to you by HD Pro Global Beauty Institute. HD Pro Global Beauty Institute offers training and certifications for med spa professionals who are wanting to become certified to do body sculpting, laser teeth whitening, post-op lymphatic drainage massage, name it. All sorts of medical spa trainings are offered and you become certified in a short amount of time, and you can begin earning by helping people transform their bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. Check them out at hdproglobal.com. Now, stay tuned as I bring in my guest for today. Her name is Deborah Peoples, and she is running for the mayor of Fort Worth. Yes, midterm elections are coming up real quickly right here in Texas, May 1st, and this wonderful candidate is someone who I have known for a while. In fact, the history behind our relationship, I got the opportunity to meet face to face with Kamala Harris, yes, the sitting vice president of the United States, through this wonderful woman, yes. But you'll hear the story from our conversation. So stay tuned and I will be right back. Welcome, Miss Peoples. We are so excited to have you. I truly appreciate you honoring our invitation to be a guest on this month's episode, Black History Month, our episode 4, Leadership for Women in Leadership, as an honor to Black History Month. Thank you so much, Miss Peoples. I want you to introduce yourself. I've told our guests a little bit about you and who you are, but I think it didn't do you justice. So I did not do you justice. So please tell our audience about yourself, ma'am.
Dr. O, any introduction from you is always extraordinary and just loved. But just so your audience knows me, and I am not, this is not the first time you and I have had these conversations. I currently serve as chair of the Tarrant County Democratic Party, and I am currently running to be mayor of the city of Fort Worth in the May 1st, 2021 election. But before all that, I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother, I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, and I am a citizen of Fort Worth, Texas. And the way I got involved and engaged in politics many years ago was I saw something that I wanted to change, and I felt like I could do more to help. And so I got started in politics at its most basic. It was grassroots politics. It was knocking on door to doors. It was listening to my neighbors and friends. It was creating plans. So I'm excited to be here today because I know we're going to talk about harnessing the power of women. And I want you all to know about the power of one, because I just started as one person with one idea and some energy. And this is where I am today.
Thank you, Ms. Peoples. Just to give everyone a background of our history and where we've come from. I met you about 2.5 years ago, almost
Yes.
3 years now, when Miss Kamala Harris started her campaign trail.
Yes.
And she was coming through Texas, and you were the host. You hosted her. I mean, did we even know then that she could make it to the White House?
Well, we hoped. And so this is what I talk about, the power of us lifting each other up and the power of Black women supporting each other. when Senator Kamala Harris first announced that she was running for president, there were a lot of great people in the race, but here was a Black woman that I could identify with. She was Black and South Asian, but she went to a historically Black college. And I felt like we as Black women, here was a chance to see ourselves on the national stage. And so we invited her here. She came, she was very honest and open. She talked about issues, and I appreciated her for that, that she did not shy away from any question. And the good thing is that audience was filled with Black women, and they could see themselves in her. So I am just grateful that you were there. It was a historic moment, and
Yes.
and that we women in North Texas, African American women in North Texas, got a chance to see her in person was just an extraordinary delight and one of my memories, all-time favorite memories.
And I have a picture. I actually got a picture with her that night. And I still have that picture till today.
Yes,
And people keep asking me, but I'm like, God, I don't even know how that happened, because sometimes as close as you are to it is where you're supposed to be. And I
yes,
know that was my first meeting with you. I came in as a makeup artist for you, and I
yes.
was in the audience, and just that connection with you just put me in proximity with Kamala Harris.
But that's what we're supposed to
I'm
do,
like,
Dr. O. That let me tell you, as as women, and especially women of color, we should be lifting each other up and celebrating each other. And so my job was is not to keep Kamala Harris separate from everybody. My job was to get her out in the people, among the people. And so I just think if you had not been allowed to be that close to her and get a picture with her, then I would not have been doing my duty as a sister, as a Black woman, as someone who cares.
and who knows? Who knows where this journey is still gonna take us? So
Yes,
let's just double back to you. This is Black History Month, and this
yes,
is a time where a lot of people of color are reflecting on our journey so far. But one thing I say is enough of us looking back. I'm not saying let's undermine our history, but let's quit looking
yes,
back. We need to start focusing on the future. And the future for me is women in
yes,
leadership. Women
yes,
in leadership is the future. And you are one of those phenomenal women who we are going to trust to take up the office of the mayor of Fort Worth. And
thank you.
how important is it? At least for me, you and I, we've had this conversation
Yes,
before. We've talked about the importance of women, people of color, immigrants, minorities to get into the process, because we cannot keep complaining about how the system is not working for us if we do not have representation of ourselves in there. So it's critical
absolutely.
for us to use whatever we have. Like for me, this platform is my tool to get your
Yes,
message out there. This is my contribution to the process. Who knows? Maybe sometime in the future I'll get into politics. I'll be in the process just like you. But right now, I'm going to play my role the best way I can to give
yes,
your voice to so many people who look like me in my age demographic, who
yes.
often believe that, oh, that's not for them. It's not possible. No, I can't possibly get into politics. I'm an immigrant. How is it even possible?
So I love the way what you just set up. So let me just tell you, it is critical that we see ourselves in politics and in other places. And so just so you know, Dr. O, Fort Worth, the city of Fort Worth, the 13th largest city in the United States, the fourth largest city in the state of Texas,
Yes.
is a majority of the residents there are people of color. There are people, so only about 37% of the residents of Fort Worth are white. The rest are Asian, Black Americans, African Americans, Brown Americans. And so it is a majority minority city, but yet when we look at our leadership, it does not reflect our leadership. It is also a young city. Most of the people who've moved to Fort Worth in the last 10 years are between 18 and 35. It's a very young city. It's a city where and I like to say it's a blue collar city. My dad was a cook, my mom was a teacher, but they were hardworking people.
Yes.
Those are most of the residents of Fort Worth. And yet our leadership does not reflect that. We have to ensure that we have a voice in how our lives are. People don't understand, but the cities regulate taxes, your school tax, your property tax. They decide on transportation. Are we going to put light rail in your neighborhood? What are we going to have available to you? They decide on infrastructure. What roads are we going to put in your neighborhood? Are we going to fix your roads? Are we going to fix your street lights? Are we going to put all those amenities there? They're responsible for economic development. What jobs are we going to bring to our community? Are they going to be jobs that pay a living wage, or are they going to be minimum wage? Those are all decisions that are made at the local level. And we need to have people at the table to bring the viewpoints of all the citizens, not just the elite, to the table.
Yes.
That is why I'm running for mayor.
Yes, and that is why, God willing, you are going to make it there
Thank you.
next year. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back to continue our conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Miss Peoples. I mean, that was an amazing beginning to our conversation.
Yes.
So let's transition a little bit. This is Black History Month,
Yes.
and there's a lot of movement going on. Now we have Vice President Kamala Harris in office. She is of Asian descent. She is a woman of color. She is pretty much, if I count the number of ways that we are sectioned as minorities in the United States, she checks all the boxes. She
She's
is a
our first female vice president.
Yes, the first female vice president, minority leader. I mean, she checks all the boxes when we talk about how we are categorized in the United States. Now, even for me, I'm a minority all the way through. But I feel like that doesn't stop me or determine how far I can go. And it doesn't determine the impact that I can make in the lives of the people around me.
Yeah.
So for me, you and I having this conversation today during this very critical month, Black History Month.
Yes.
What is one message, one strong message that you would like to send to people who look like us, whether they're in your age bracket, my age bracket, or our children's age bracket, which will be your grandchildren? Every single group. What is one strong message that you want to send to them during this Black History Month celebration?
Okay, so what I would tell you in a nutshell, what I want you to all walk away from here knowing is the sky is the limit. It is limitless. We can do anything. And every time we put a person of color, we elevate a woman, it just opens up more doors. I mean, how many young women of color looked at Kamala Harris, raise her hand, and get sworn in by Justice Sonia Sotomayor?
Yes.
How many of them saw that and said, I can be vice president?
Mhm.
I can be a Supreme Court justice. I can be. And so every time and I loved how you said we have to move forward. Every time we start moving forward, we open doors for countless women and people of color behind us. I mean, here is Kamala Harris, whose mother was an immigrant from Asia, whose father was an immigrant from Jamaica. Here is this woman, the daughter of immigrants, who is now the second most powerful person in the world. And so every time these things happen, it lets people know that it can happen. I'm running for mayor. I want young girls and young boys, but I want young girls to look and say, young Black girls to say, I can be mayor of the city of Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
I can do all these extraordinary things. And I think you're right. We have to look to the future. And by looking to the future, we have to be willing to put ourselves out there to receive our blessings.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Peoples. So, for your campaign, what is the main agenda for your mayoral campaign? What are you focusing on?
So, one of the things, and let me just tell you, I think my campaign slogan is One Fort Worth. And so, One Fort Worth means a lot to me, but it means bringing the city together. We are a collection of neighborhoods and communities all over. I live on the east side of Fort Worth, and people live on the south side, and people live all over, but we're this collection, but we all want to have a better life. We all want to have great opportunities. And so my campaign is based on bringing everybody to the table from every neighborhood and coming up with creative solutions to things I talked about transportation, about infrastructure, about crime. I mean, we just got a new police chief, and people want accountability. They want to be safe, but they also want to be have the police be accountable. They want our police department. We want to be able to trust our policemen and have them re-engage with our communities. And so I want to bring everybody to the table to discuss these issues. And so you can go to my website, Deborah Peoples for Mayor, DEBORAH Peoples, PEOPLES for Mayor. It'll take you to my website. You can see my position on things. It will tell you how to get engaged, how to volunteer, how to donate. But more than anything, I want to increase voter turnout. These elections are too important for just a few of us to go and vote. We need to be marching to the polls to make our voices heard. And that has been my lifelong work, is to get people to the polls, to get great people like Kamala Harris elected. And I am asking citizens to join me on this journey.
Yes, and you are definitely the right person to back up. I mean, I will throw in all my decks with you any day. So come 2021, 2022. When are we
No,
voting?
2021.
20
The election is right around the corner.
right
It is
around.
on May 1st. It is on Saturday, May 1st. But early voting, in person starts April the 19th to the 27th. You can go to any voting location and vote for me for mayor. And then on election day, May the 1st, you can go to any location in the city and vote for me for mayor. And so it's coming up quickly, but
Yes.
it's very important that we stay engaged. And I am reaching out to everyone because I think the critical thing is that people need to understand how important it is to vote. And I'm asking them to go and vote for me.
Okay, so you guys heard it here first. You get out and vote for Mayor Peoples. Like, I am calling it into existence.
Thank
Mayor Peoples, she is going to get into that office
you.
because
Yes.
she has a heart to help and support the people. Thank you so much for coming on with me
Thank
today.
you.
It's been such an honor having you, and I will have you back when you make it into the office. So when she becomes mayor, we will be having an interview with her again to speak to her about the way forward and the future for the people of Fort Worth. Thank you so much, Miss People.
Thank you so much for having me.
You
Thank
are
you.
such a pleasure, such a pleasure. I truly appreciate you. All right, that's our show for today, talking to Miss Deborah Peoples, the aspiring mayor for the city of Fort Worth, Texas. See you at the polls May 1st.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I hope you really enjoyed the show today. This is Black History Month. But as a people of color, I believe personally that it is important for us to realize that regardless of color, race, ethnicity, or background, God has a very special, unique intent in his heart. And that is what we call our purpose. Are you living within your purpose? Are you fulfilling that God-given purpose for you on this earth? If you still don't know what that is, I promise you, you need to read my book, King of My Gifts. Grab a copy and read the story of my life and the stories of other people who have come before me and how we all walked with God to arrive at our purpose on our way to destiny. And of course, we also have the workbook, both available on Amazon for sale. Get that book and I promise you, you will never be the same again. Thank you so much for watching the show today. This is Dr. Oyinka Solajinadu, Dr. OJ Speaks. Don't forget, drop your comments below, like this video, share it, but most importantly, subscribe and turn on your notification button so the next time I come on, you will be the first to know. It's been a pleasure. Bye.